The ancient world was filled with breathtaking love stories, and the tale of Cupid and Psyche is one of my personal favorites. Today, I would like to share this love story with you, and I will be using Edith Hamilton's retelling of this famous tale. Let's begin. There once lived a young woman so beautiful that even Venus was jealous of her. Psyche was the third daughter of a king, and her beauty became so renowned that the population stopped worshipping Venus, also known as Aphrodite to the Greeks, and her temples began to rot. In revenge, Venus sent her son Cupid to make Psyche fall in love with the most disgusting man that he could find. But that did not happen. Instead, Cupid fell in love with her at first sight. Not even the god of love could resist her beauty. However, Psyche did receive a curse that Venus did not foresee. Because she was so beautiful, men looked at her as more of a piece of art and didn't see themselves as worthy of her. Instead, they married the other women in the kingdom, including her two sisters. The king sought Apollo's help to get Psyche married. Apollo had already been convinced by Cupid, so he suggested that the king should leave his daughter on a mountaintop where a winged serpent would take her away and marry her. The father obliged, but this crushed him. Psyche, however, was stronger. She bravely sat in the darkness on the hilltop until a zephyr pulled her away into a distant meadow where she slept. When she awoke, a beautiful mansion stood before her. As she entered, a hidden voice told her to eat, bathe, and make herself at home. She did as she was commanded, and she very much enjoyed herself. The only problem was that she had no one to share it with. That night, as she drifted off to sleep in her bed, her new husband crawled in beside her. His soft voice comforted her and charmed her, and the two made love, but the darkness of the night hid his features. This routine continued day after day until one evening she learned that her sisters had been looking for her. She begged to see them, and eventually he conceded, but he added that it might destroy everything that they had together. Psyche brought her two sisters to the mansion, and they grew green with envy. The sisters couldn't help but inquire about Psyche's new husband, so she lied and said that he was away on a hunting trip. That night, Psyche again begged her husband to allow her sisters to come visit, and again, he obliged. This time, her sisters had hatched a plot against her. They deduced that Psyche hadn't seen her husband, and since he wasn't allowing her to see him, he must be truly a monster. They told her that she must take a candle and a knife, and once she sees her husband sleeping in the night, she must kill him. That night, she crept next to him and shined the candle on him, only to find the most handsome man she had ever seen. But she quickly realized that he was not a man at all, but actually the god Cupid. She accidentally spilt some of the oil from the candle on his shoulder, and he awoke to see his wife standing over him. He fled from the scene. Psyche then searched the earth for him, determined to find her love. She decided to go see Venus to either receive the goddess's help or to hopefully find Cupid with his mother. Venus was still angry, and she mocked Psyche and gave her some tasks to complete. The first was to sort some small grains, which were so numerous that it seemed like an impossibility. Thankfully, a colony of ants came and sorted them for her, saving the day. Her next task was to retrieve a golden fleece from some sheep. She managed to complete the task when a green reed instructed her to get the wool out of the briar patch after the sheep came by the river to sleep. Another task led her to Hades, where she was tasked with bringing Persephone asking Persephone for some of her beauty to give to Venus. Persephone agreed, and Psyche was again helped. However, Psyche was curious about the box and opened it up, causing her to fall into a deep sleep. She woke to find Cupid in front of her. Their love was rekindled, and they traveled to see Jupiter, also known as Zeus to the Greeks, to end this madness. He declared the two married against Venus's will, and they lived happily ever after. I'll end this by saying that Psyche means soul, and Cupid is love. Do with that what you will. Thanks.